Screen is visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Good afternoon, one and all. I, Dr. Kiran Sanjay Bhise, Principal, MC Societies, Allana College of Pharmacy, welcome you all on behalf of our management, principal, staff, and students. Today, we have arranged live demonstration on effective application of Google Classrooms in the online teaching learning process. During this demonstration, our teaching staff members, they will be sharing their own dashboards of Google Classroom and will discuss the different aspects of Google Classroom right from the creation of their Google classes, addition of the course contents, online question papers, different gamifications, and many more. This is the brief outline that will be covered by my faculty members. So, with this brief outline, we shall start our demonstration for today's topic. Now, let's see how the classrooms are allotted to the individual subject in charges as per their subject, that workload, and the timetable by the principal or the head of the institution. This is how we can start. The head of the institution has their own Gmail IDs. Through their Gmail IDs, they will enter into the Google Classroom through this Google app. Through this Google app. In order to create the class, the principal will create the class and allot it to the individual teachers as per their workload in the same way as they are doing physically while designing the physical timetables. Now, say for example, Dr. Rani Potawle is teaching first KB pharmacy for the academic year 2021. She has only one section, say section A. Her subject is pharmacochemistry, pharmaceutical chemistry. A room allotted is one. Now the classroom is created. Now in her classroom, suppose she is sharing her subject with one more teacher, say Rajat Sayed. The principal will allot the co-teacher to Rani Potawle. Here, Rani Potawle, Dr. Rani Potawle will also be invited as the main teacher. So in addition to the principal, the main teacher and the co-teacher, they have been invited through their Gmails. They will accept the mails and then they will invite the students. It is always better to invite the students through their registered Gmail ID to maintain the security as well as the attendance in the class. As such, in the given classroom, there is a facility of the class code. Through the class code also, the teacher can invite students. Now, the students are invited, and this is how the classroom of all the teachers can be seen by the principal. Principal, being the head of the institution, can see all the classes at a time. All the classes at a time. Now, here you can see during the lockdown period in the month of March, we started our teaching learning process through Google Classroom platform, and our nearly 26 classes were generated, class wise, teacher wise, and the subject wise. I'll show you one of the dashboard of our particular teacher. Now, here in this dashboard, there are four options: stream, classwork, people, and the grade. All these four options will be covered by my faculty members during this demonstration. Now, the principal can see the progress of teaching learning process through this stream. Stream is in fact the visual, or you can say virtual, communication between the teacher and the students. So the teacher has made the announcements for students related to the notes, related to the classes, related to general announcements also. The particular teacher, she has created her own block club, and this block, for this also she has made the announcements. See, similarly, the principal can see, as I told, that the progress of teaching learning process can be monitored through the stream and the classwork tabs by the principal. Now, during the lockdown period, our teachers, they started from 17th of March until 5th of June. The teaching learning process was continued, including the online sessional examinations for theory as well as for the practicals. Tutorials were also conducted by the teacher. So here I can see how many tutorials were conducted by teacher, what were the chapters that were covered by the teacher, the material that the teacher has uploaded on the classwork. Now, this is one more second teacher who has uploaded her different activities, including the survey, compilation, continuous assessment, her sessional examinations, puzzles. Now, principal can see how many students have attempted, how many students were assigned the given puzzle, and the progress of each and every student in the given assignment. So this is regarding the Google Classroom for during the lockdown period, where had we tried our best to complete almost a whole of the remaining syllabus. 70% of the syllabus was covered through the offline mode till 14th of March. So remaining 30% was covered through this Google Classroom. Now for 2021, our campus has created and has allotted the G Suite Google Classroom ID azamcampus.org. So our pharmacy ID is eClasses AC Pharma @azamcampus.org. Now, for this academic year, I have generated 40 classrooms, right from first year B Pharmacy to PhD, first year B Pharmacy to PhD to GPAT guidance, and the various portfolios also, like cultural activities, social activities, then guest lectures, career guidance, etc. Now, for the G Suite, we have special privilege. We have the special privilege of recording our lectures, recording the lectures, and posting them on the wall. Plus, this permanent link is obtained through which the teacher invites the students for webinars, and teacher shares her webinar, the code which is obtained with the students, like this. The link is shared with the students, and students, they can then join the webinar. So this is the new feature in the G Suite application. There are more features related to security and plagiarism that will be explained by my colleagues. So this is how the principal can monitor all the activities, can actively participate, can interact with the teachers and the students, and can communicate the progress to the parents also. Here in the grade, the teacher can see the grades, whatever the exams and the tutorials are taken by the concerned teacher. The consolidated grades, they are generated, and teacher can see all those grades at a time. So since now this is the beginning of the academic year, so comparatively the sessional examinations are have not yet started, but this is how the grades will look for the different tutorials and the MCQs. And the individual teachers, they assign the given tutorials to the students and enter the marks, and then return back to the students. This will also be explained in detail by my colleague. So with this brief outline about the classroom, I request my faculty members, Mr. Swapnil Donde, to kindly take over for the next proceedings. Mr. Swapnil.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, my screen is visible to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Hi, good afternoon, all of you. Here, we can see these are three methods. By using this, we can create or generate a Google Classroom. First one, Google search engine. Second one, Google account app. And last one, with the help of mobile Play Store. Before I explain the Google Classroom, let's see the features of a Google Classroom. It is a free application. One classroom is of 100 students. On a GC board, teacher can open unlimited classroom. Teacher can post or create study material in a form of PDF, PPT, Word, Excel, or video format. MCQs can be taken. Evaluation of marks is a possible. Personal attention to students is a possible. Extracurricular activities like a poster presentation, puzzle, crossword can be conducted. Data can be shared with the help of Google Drive. Now I am sharing my Google Classroom with you. So you can here see this is my last year academic Google Classroom dashboard. The dashboard can be arranged in a class-wise or batch-wise form. This is one of my final year classroom. Here we can see two shortcut keys provided by Google Classroom, one for a Google Drive and second for edit option. After opening class, we can see number of options are given by Google Classroom. On extreme left, we can see this tab where we can select a class. In a center, there are the 4 tab or option given by the Google Classroom. First one is a stream, second one is a classwork, third one people, and last one is a marks. On extreme right, the option of a setting is given by the Google Classroom. In this, we can make a changes in a class detail, or we can do basic settings. For example, we can change a class code with the help of this tab. Next, I am now explaining my stream ball. The stream ball is nothing but where all activities of a teachers and students appear here. Teacher can share study material on this wall. Also, teachers are able to ask their questions to students, and also students can ask their queries or questions on this wall. The teacher can create material in a form of PDF, PPT, audio and video format. For creating a study material, the teacher have to click on this tab. After that, they have to select a class and fill the details of a student. After that, they have to describe about the study material. Then, according to the teachers, they can share the study material in the form of Google Drive, a link, file, and YouTube with the help of this tab. And lastly, they have to just make a post on this wall. So now the students can able to see the study material. Like in the same way, I also sharing study material for students from, you can say that before 2 to 3 months, students in the form of PDF and PPT words. Example, here we can see the study material are shared in a PDF form. So what can the students do? They have to just click on this file, and now they are able to learn this file, or also they can take a printout of this PDF. Next example, we can also share our study material in a form of video. So here we can see that the study material is a share by me with the form of audio and video PPT format. Just student have to click on that and they are able to see this video. Also, the advantage of Google Classroom dashboard is that many teachers, they are preparing their own notes, their handwritten notes. So what we have to do, we have to just take a pictures of that handwritten notes, and then we can share on the Google Classroom. So the students are able to learn that our notes, and also they are able to take a print of this. Like in the same way, the students are also sharing their extra activities. Suppose the students are taking a part of any competitions, so they can share their results in this wall. Also, they can share their extra activities in the form of, you can say that, video. So some of my students share their video how to prepare a column in a form of video. So I am sharing with you this. Here we can see the students can make their videos related with the practical, or we can say that any theory part, and this video they can share on this Google Classroom. So that definitely helps for other students also. In the same way, apart from teachers, apart from, we can say, that theory part, the teachers can also create a demonstration of a practical with the help of Google Classroom. For example, I share demonstration practical on determination of hash value for second year class. Here we can see, just 1 minute. Here is a demonstration practical. Here we have to make a video on a principle, theory, procedure of a practical, and then teacher have to what to do, add a demonstration part in the end of the video. In the same video, after clicking, you can see I am explaining the principle, importance of the practical, procedure, and what have to teacher do. They have to actually perform their practical in a college, and they can make a video of that, and they have to just attach the same video in the same video. So here the whole video uh, is explain the demonstration of the practical, that is the determination of hash value. Next point. Next option we can see is a classwork. In this tab we can see list of us. In this option, the teacher can create assignment for the students in the form of long answer questions and short answer questions. The teachers also are able to give the assignment in the form of MCQs also. So these are the list of assignment I am taken for the last year academic years. So this assignment part, long answer question and short answer question, I am explaining in the marks. The last tab is the marks, where the record of assignment we can see. For example, the advantage of Google Classroom mark tab or a grade tab is that the student don't have access of this tab. Also, they can't see this mark or a grade tab on their Google Classroom. Whatever assignment teachers takes, that will becomes here. In this tab, we can check a student assignment, and we can also give marks to that particular assignment. Now I open one assignment. Here we can see I gave a long answer question assignment for this class. So after the opening assignment, we can see the reply of students. The students can write their assignments in Microsoft Word, and they can attach their file. Or other option is that they can write their answer in a notebook, and they can take a photo of that, and they can also attach that same file. Here is an option of given a marks. Here is an option is provided by the Google Classroom, that we can make a comment on the assignments. Many teachers or maximum teachers having the, we can say that they are making a notes on answer paper, that how to write the answer for the students. So for that, so here we can also make a comment on assignment. In the same way, I also take a MCQs exam or MCQs assignment for students. Here we can see MCQ test. So here is an option, we can see the MCQ test for the 20 marks. So we can decide how much mark we have to take an exam. Then this is a option handed in assign and mark, means we have to just assign how many students we have assigned the exam. For the students, here is the number appear. After that, students handed in means they submitted their assignment to the teacher. After the checking of assignment, the marks, that is here, the 62 number will appear, or whatever the students are giving handed in, that number will appear in the marks. And the advantage of these Google Classroom marks is that we can individually check the grades of the students. Here is option of all students and short by the name or surname. Suppose I am selecting one student. So the all record that whatever whatever the assignment is given by the teacher in the form of long answer question, short answer question, or MCQs that are checked by the teachers, the all record of our students we can obtain by the just one single click. Here we can see that the overall performance of this student is 87.78%, means whatever I just assigned the exams to the students, like in between that, the average of a score of that student is 87.78. All there is advantage of Google Classroom is that, okay, how many assignment is submitted by the students, or how many are written by the students, and how many assignment the students get fails to submit. This all record we can just find out with the help of single click. So this is all about a detail of a stream and introduction of a classwork tab and marks tab. How to create assignment and MCQs. This part will cover by Dr. Rani Madam. So thank you all of you. Over to Rani Madam.
Thank you, Swapnil sir. I'm sharing my screen. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
Okay, thank you, sir. A very good afternoon to one and all. In the live demonstration of Google Classroom, I'm Dr. Rani Potawle from Malana College of Pharmacy. Would like to share few of the activities carried out on the Google Classroom for the students that I would like to share. This is my Google Classroom dashboard. When we click to a particular class, we'll able to see these 4 options at the top of a class: stream, classwork, people, and grades. Now this stream portion is already explained by sir. This is nothing but an announcement wall where the announcement, study material, which is posted on the classwork is reflected under the stream. Now these are some assignments which are posted by me. The students can comment on this wall. We can also reply to them. Then we can also post the study material in the form of PDF. Now this is one PDF of a book I have uploaded so that students offline also can download and study. Then here we can do the announcements of our webinars. These are some snapshots of my webinar which was taken for the students. We can even upload our recordings of the webinars. So overall, this stream wall is nothing but an interaction wall. The material which is posted under this classwork and stream, collectively we can see under this class drive folder in an organized manner. Now this classwork, this is the platform for organizing the study material as well as the various types of assignments. Now when we see here in create, we can able to see the different options of creating the assignments. Now on the left hand side, we can see the different topics which were created in order to organize the study material, the different types of assignments, and the activities which were taken for the students. Now here I would like to share activity which is taken for student, a PBL activity, that is nothing but the problem based learning activity. Now in this activity, a trigger was given to the students to go for searching the recent developments in the area of different drug categories which are mentioned in their syllabus. So here students searched for the new developments, new drugs in the various therapeutic categories which are allotted to them, and they prepared their own PPT presentation. And this is one example of Mitali, a student. She uploaded here a PPT presentation on antipsychotic drugs. Now she worked on antipsychotic therapeutic category. This chapter is mentioned in the syllabus, but students worked on the drugs which are not mentioned in the syllabus, and they have prepared their PPT presentation. Like this, some of the students also prepared their own videos. Now, these videos were created by using the various softwares which are available online. Now, here I would like to share this
We
video.
would like to give a video presentation on the topic recent development of drugs on sedative and hypnotics. So, what are sedative?
So, very enthusiastically, students participated into such activities. And in order to trigger the talent in the students, we can use these different activities. Now, not only the various activities, but we keep the engaged students by giving the various kinds of assignments. Now, if we see this classwork platform, here we can able to see the create option, and here we can able to create different types of assignment like simple assignments, handwritten assignments, typewritten assignments. Then we can ask the MCQ or quiz type of assignments, and even short question type of assignment. We can post this study material, and in order to organize this study material and different types of assignments, we can create the different topics. So here I would like to show some examples of different types of assignment. Now this is one assignment which is given to the students, which is a handwritten assignment. Now here student write their assignment on paper, and here we can see on the right hand side the assignment which was uploaded here. We can open that assignment which is uploaded by the student in a new window, and here on the left hand side we can see the nature of the attachment. Students can attach their assignments in the form of PDF, or even in the image form, or in a PPT presentation form. Now you can check this assignment given by the student from this window like this, and if you want to suggest some correction, give any remark, here is the option to give a comment. Now for this particular assignment, I have already given one remark here. The structures are there but the numbering is missing, so that remark is given by me. So when you will return this assignment to the students, students can able to see the marks as well as the comments or the suggestion corrections suggested by the teacher. So this is one kind of the assignment, handwritten assignment, that we can take from the student. Now, the beauty of this Google Classroom is that we can take quiz or MCQ type of assignment. Now, this MCQ type of assignment can be taken along with or by using this Google Forms. Now, the details of this Google Form, how to create this, and the different features how we can use to create this is going to explain in detail by my colleague. So, I'm not going in much details with this, but this is one kind of the assignment that we can take for the students. And also we can monitor the progress of our assignment. Now here we can see some numericals. Now here this will tell you the progress of your assignment. For example, this 50 is nothing but the 50 students have submitted this particular assignment, and I have graded them also. The 9 students are still assigned with this assignment and haven't yet they have attempted this. And this one student is turning but haven't graded yet. So this progress we can check from this same window. Then again here we can ask the short questions to the students. Now, if we open that into a new window, we can able to see the answers of that questions here. On the right hand side, we can see the answers given by the students. We can check that, we can give suggestions, remark to the students. And on left hand side, we can see the list of the students, those who have turned in, those who have still assigned with this assignment, and those who have given the answers and I have checked it, I have given some remark to them, comment to them, and here this right mark will appear when you will return that particular assignment to the students. So this is how we can take the different types of assignment by using these features of the classwork. Now here I would like to show the one assignment that we can create along with the rubric. Now under the classwork, here is the option, click to create and go to assignments. Now a window will appear. Here give title to the assignment. Say for example, classification of sedatives. Now, these instructions are optional. You can give any relevant instruction that you want to give. If you want this in a handwritten form, you can give the instructions here so, or even in the option of create. With the help of this G Suite Docs, you can create this particular assignment. On right hand side, there is an option to select the class in which you want to post this particular assignment. Now, like that, you can select it for all the students, or if you want to restrict this posting to the students, you can deselect it first and then again select it. You can give here points. You can grade to your assignment depending upon the requirement of that particular assignment. And even we can decide the date of submission of our assignment. Now, for that purpose, we just need to click here the date. You can also, it's optional, so we can also now here we can create the topic under which we want to post this assignment. So let's create a new topic, say CNS depressants, and here is the option to create the rubric. Now when we click to create, we'll able to see a new window. Now rubric is nothing but the points or the criteria on which basis the teacher is going to evaluate the assignment of students. So here it's a classification of sedative. So here I'm going to evaluate it on the basis of two criteria. So let's see the structures. The first criteria for the evaluation, and here is the option to add the criteria. The second criteria will be the description. Now, under each criteria, the levels. Say level 1, that is advanced level 2, and level 3. Now, 5 marks I have to give for the first criteria. So, here 5 marks. For the 5 marks, I'm expecting suppose 5 minimum structures. Then, if minimum 3 structures, 3 points I'll assign, and minimum 2 structures I'm expecting to give the 2 marks. Like that, you can give the points. In the second criteria, description. Here again, we can create the levels. Total different 9 different levels we can create for each criteria. Now say level 1, level 2, and level 3. By considering the level 1 is advanced, the maximum marks I'm going to allot is the 5 marks if there is a excellent explanation by the student. Now, in the middle level, if the explanation is average, I'll give 3 marks. And if it is poor, I'm going to give 2 marks for the students. So like that, 5 marks for my description criteria and 5 marks for the first structure criteria, automatically software takes the 10 marks. We can save this rubric and When we'll go here, we can see this created rubric along with this assignment. Now here there is an option to assign this assignment directly to the students, or we can schedule it for the latter time also from this option. Now if you want to schedule it, you just need to click to the date on which you want to post it and the time. So if I'm assigning it now, we'll able to see this created topic CNS depressions over here and the assignment which is created over here along with the rubric. Now here is the one example how we can check the assignment which is given with the rubric. The advantage of rubric is that students can able to see that rubric when we post the assignment, so that they can able to see the points or the criteria which are allotted for the evaluation by the teacher. So according to that requirement, they can write their assignment and post it. So when your assignment of the student will get open into a new window, it will get open along with the rubric that you have set. So here you just need to check this assignment. Now here the two criteria I have decided, structure and the description for the SAR or barbiturates. So check this assignment, see the structures and select the appropriate level. According to your selection, it will take the automatic marks over here. See the description, whether it's a poor description, excellent description, and according to that, select the level. So when you select the level, it will take the marks and automatically software shows here this sum of all the criteria. And when we'll return this assignment to the students will able to see this marks along with the fragmentation of this criteria. So that transparency in the evaluation process we can able to maintain. So this is what the different types of assignments that we can create on this classwork platform. Now, this is what the assignments look from the teacher wall. But how the students can respond to these different types of assignments, let's see through a small video. Now, this student is handling this Google Classroom from her mobile. When she will click to it, she can able to see the different classes to which she is attached. Now, when will she click to a class, she can able to see the study material posted. She can click to it. Now here is the PPT presentation uploaded by teacher. She can study it, she can refer it. By studying this, now she can able to solve the assignment. Now here she can able to see the first assignment, classification of sedative. As it's a handwritten assignment that we can see here by the instructions, students can write that on a paper and attach this assignment from either her drive or from file, her computer or from mobile. The next assignment is the MCQ type of assignment. When she will click, she can able to see the Google form file. She can solve that MCQ online and see the marks also. The next type of the assignment is the short question type of assignment. Now, as it's a short question, the student can able to see the space to write on her screen. She can write the answer over here and she can able to see the option hand in. When she will click to hand in, she will get a window that answer is submitted. So this is how the students can respond to the various assignments which are given by the teacher and they can respond. Now here I would like to talk about one more feature of the Google Classroom, or it's one Google app we can say. In this different Google apps, we can see this feature Jamboard. Now Jamboard is nothing but a blackboard or whiteboard that we have used during our conventional teaching learning process. Now these are the previous Jamboards which were created by me. If you have to create a new Jamboard, just click to this plus sign and it will get open into a new window. Now by using this Jamboard, we can select the background. Now here there is an option to select the white or the black and these different kinds of backgrounds. Here there is an option to select the pen, or even there is a marker, brush. We can select the color of our choice. Here there is an option of a sticky note. So we can write here any instructions or heading, and that will appear like this on your Jamboard. There is a provision, we can add the image, we can upload that image, we can create image, or even we can search it from the Google also. Now you just need to type here which image you want to upload, and here it will get open with the help of Google, and you just need to click the image that you want to share with the students, and it will appear on your Jamboard. Now, if you have created any image, there is an option of editing. As it's a ready-made image, here we can duplicate it also. We can arrange this on our Jamboard. So these different features we can use in our classwork platform in the assignments to make it more effective. Now here, one more feature I would like to explain. If we have created our Google Classroom with a corporate ID, we'll able to avail one more feature. Now this is a demo class I have created for the demonstration purpose. Under the classwork, when we go to create assignment, here originality reports. This is one feature we can see. Now, with the help of this, we can go for the Google search to compare a student work against the billions of web pages and millions of books. So, with this will help the student to identify any unintentional plagiarism or uncited content before submitting the assignment. Or even it helps the teachers also to see whether the students use the study material and where the citations are present or missing. Now here I would like to show this one assignment for which the originality check was on. So for this, when we'll get open this particular assignment submitted by teacher, we can able to see her flagged message. Click to that flag message and we can able to see the originality report. Now here we can able to see the highlighted lines. That means here we can see the percentage of the flat content. These highlighted lines are nothing but the copy pasted lines from this different web matches. So in the percent, 74% of this content is from the different web sources. When we click to the web matches, we can able to see a student passage, and here a top web match to show this copy pasted material. And here we can see a link from where student has copy and pasted that material in the assignment. So in the evaluation process, we can, this feature is definitely going to help. Here we can see the percent content which is cited. We can see here, now it's a 0% cited material. So that also we can see from this report. So by using this different features in Google Classroom, we can able to see the effective teaching learning by using this platform. So this is all from my side. The next part is going to explain by my colleague, Mr. Rajat sir. So I request Rajat sir to take over. Thank you everyone. Over to you, Rajat sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, my voice is audible?
Yes, sir. You're audible.
Yes,
Okay.
your voice is audible.
Okay. And I hope my screen is also visible to you all.
Yes, sir, is starting. Yes, now it is
Okay.
visible.
Thank you so much, Rani ma'am. Uh, I, Professor, Assistant Professor Rajat Sayyar, today will be explaining how to create the online question paper or online question paper setting and the evaluation. So I'll explain you, or I'll show you my dashboard, and then I'll explain you how to create the question paper and how to evaluate. So if you can see here, this is how my dashboard is look like. So I am teaching these classes, and suppose I go on one class. So new window will open, and in this new window, 4 tabs are there. So these 4 tabs are already explained by my colleague, Dr. Rani Botawle ma'am and Mr. Swapnil Donde sir. So I'll not go into that much of detail. But if you see the question paper format or question paper, there are 2 types of the examinations: subjective examinations and objective examinations. So Google has provided us the facility by which we can conduct subjective type of the examinations also and objective type of the examinations also. Subjective type of the examination with the rubric part, Dr. Rani Potawle has already explained. In today's session, I will be explaining how the objective examination are conducted with the help of Google Classroom app. Google Classroom, as I said earlier, provided us a platform where we can take objective assignment. Google has provided different apps, and we can merge that different app into one app that is called as Google Classroom. So suppose if we want to conduct the online examination or objective online examination, so Google has also provided the same. So you just need to click on the create button and you will get the n number of tabs here. So you have to click on the quiz assignment. As soon as you click on the quiz assignment, it will be open into a new window. So you can give the title of your tutorial or your assignment or your question paper. You can either write your midterm examination, sessional examination, practical examination, or your subjects. You can give instructions to the students, although this instructional part is an optional one. And here you can see a link will automatically generated. This link is nothing but the link of Google Form, and with the help of Google Form, we will be able to create the objective type of the question paper. One more setting is here, grade importing. When student will attempt this objective type of the examination, automatically all grade will be imported into a Google Classroom grade option. I'll show you afterwards. So this option will be available only and when you are using the organizational email ID. In today's case, I am using azamcampus.org email ID. So this option will appear here. If you are using normal Gmail or normal G Suite, this option will not appear here. So this is the link for the Google Form, or in this link you have to create your objective type of the question paper. So you need to just click on this link and it will open a new window. The new window will show you a Google Form where you can name that Google Form again for the examination. For an examination, for an example, I want to create this objective type of the examination for the sessional purpose. So I can write here sessional examination. You can also write the description of your examination. And now here is the next part. When you click on this plus button will help you to add the questions. So when we click on this plus button, a new tab or new pop-up window will open, and that pop-up in that pop-up window we can write our question and we can write the option here. Now you can select multiple choice questions, you can select checkbox type questions, you can select drop down type question, or you can select linear scale or multiple choice grid question. So this much you can create in the objective type of the examination. This short answer and paragraph, these are for the subjective type of the answer, subjective type of the question paper. So we are not paying attention to them. We are paying attention to the multiple choice questions, check boxes, drop down. In check boxes or drop down, you can create the true or false type of the questions. Or in linear scale, you can create where you want to show the linearity or the linear scale on which you want to judge that particular question. So you can create that. So here is the one option, answer key. Now this window will be open, or this window will be seen to the teacher only. This window will not seen to the student. So you will able to see this answer key only. When you click on this answer key, it will automatically says correct the choose the correct option. So you have to choose the correct option and you have to give the points to that particular question and you have to click on done button. So all it's set now. So whenever any student attempt this question, it will automatically get checked and it will be graded automatically. So you don't have to worry for the evaluation of the objective type of the question paper. Now one more setting in this box is required button. When you click on this required button, this will enables this question as a compulsory one. Until and unless student attempt this question, he or she cannot move further. So this is the setting. So you can set here n number of questions and you can prepare your question paper. Now after typing or after giving the questions, you need to do some settings. So if you can see here a gear option, you have to click on this gear option and you will be seeing three settings: a general setting, presentation setting, and again quizzes setting. In general setting, the first tab is collect email addresses. When you click on this collect email addresses button, the email addresses of the student who are attempting this examination will automatically get collected. Then second setting is a response receipt. Whether you want to give the response receipt to your students or not, it is up to you. If you are preparing this question paper for assignment purpose or for practice purpose, you can share this response receipt. Response receipt are nothing but the answer sheet or the question and answer sheet which they have attempted. Now the next one is when you want to give this receipt to the student. The first one, if respondent requests it. Now respondent in our case is the student. So if student requests that they want their response receipt, so they will get. Or second button, always as soon as the student submit the assignment or the question paper, they will get their response receipt. Now the second setting requires a sign in. Here you can again see the two options. The restrict to the users in the Azam campus only. This option will be again visible only and when you are using the organizational email ID. I'm talking about teacher's organizational email ID. So if the teacher is using organizational email ID, he will able to see this setting. You have to just uncheck, because it is not necessary that all your students are using your organizational email id. They are out of your organizational email id or they are using normal gmail ids. So you have to uncheck this box. The next is limit to one response. Whether you want to limit that response to the students, yes. If you are conducting this for the examination purpose, you have to click on this button, so that the student can attempt this question paper for one time only. Otherwise, if you are conducting this examination for practice purpose, you can uncheck this box so student can able to give this examination n number of times. The next settings are respondent. Again, respondents are nothing but the students. Student can edit after submit, or student can see summary charts and the text responses. Again, you have to uncheck this if you are giving this particular for the examination. If you are giving this assignment for practice purpose, you can check this, or you can allow student to edit their answer after submission also. So these are the settings which are in the general tab. The next setting is in the presentation tab. In presentation tab, again three settings are there. The first one, show progress bar. Student can able to see the progress or how much questions they have attempted and how much questions they are remaining with. The next important option is shuffle the question order. Now, if or when you click on this shuffle question order button, the question which are getting to the different students are getting in the different order. So the copying case can be minimized. And the last one is the show link to submit another response. Again, if you are conducting this assignment for practice purpose, you can keep this on. But if you are conducting this for examination purpose, you have to uncheck this. And the confirmational message you can write here, like your response has been recorded, or thank you for attending the examination. So you can write your own message here. And the last option, the quizzes setting, when you click on this quizzes, here is the option which says the release the grade are nothing but the marks. Now again there are two options when you want to release the grade: immediately after each submission, means when student submits the answer sheet, they will automatically get their result, or later after manual review. You have to release the grade after manual review. So these are the two settings. So if you are conducting this for practical purpose, you have to release your score immediately. And if you are conducting this for the examination purpose, you have to release the grade after manual review of each and every question. And the last option which remains in the Google form is student can see or respondent can see missed question, correct answer, or point values when or after releasing the grade. So it is up to you what you want to show the student. If you want to show their missed answer, you can click here. If you want to show the correct answer for the wrong attempted answers, you can click here, and you can click the point values. Point values are nothing but the values which are given to the questions, and you just need to click on the save button. Now you all set to conduct the examination. So it is all saved in your Google Drive. So you need not to worry to search for the save button or to send button. You just need to click on close button, and it will be automatically get in this link. Now there are some few settings you need to do in the Google Classroom. Now the setting which we have done earlier is in the Google form, and few settings we need to do in the Google Classroom. So for which student or for which class you want to give this assignment, so you can click here. You want to give for all the student, or you want to give for few students, so you can select. You can ungrade this assignment, or you can give your marks. For an example, you can give 10 marks, or you can give up to 100 marks. Now you can set due date, and you can set the topic of your assignment or of your question paper. Now rubric part, this rubric part is not actually important in the objective type of the question paper. Rubric part is nothing but student will able to know when they are going to attempt the subjective type of the question paper. So which question carries, or in that particular question, which points need to be covered while writing an answer, that idea will get by the rubric one. So in objective type, as such, we are not going to write anything. We are just going to select the correct answer. So rubric part is not important in the objective type of the question paper. And you can assign this assignment or the question paper to the student. Again, here three options are there. Assign option is there, schedule option is there, or save draft option is there. So you can this is how you can set the objective type of the question paper. Now I will show you how I have conducted some assignment. So I'll click on the grades button. This grade window will give us a overall view of the student. So you can see here tutorial number 1 is conducted, assignment number 2 is conducted. So here are the marks. Some students are turned in, some are missing. So at a glance you can see the presentee or absentee of the student. You can also see the overall grades of the student. When I click on this assignment button or this particular assignment, so you will able to see who are the student which are graded or submitted the assignment and who are missing, and their marks also. One important feature in the this grade is import grade option is available again and only when you are using the organizational Gmail ID or G Suite. Otherwise this will not display here. Now one more important thing is that we can create this grade sheet into a Excel sheet. Suppose we want to export this mark, or we want to show these marks to the university, or we want to show give this mark to the send this marks to the university. You need to convert into the Google sheets, or you need to be converted into the Excel sheets. So when you click on this gear button, three options will be there: copy all grades to the Google sheets, download all grades as the CSV again nothing but the Excel sheets, and download these grades as the CSV. If you click on this all grades for the all assignment will be downloaded as an Excel sheet. And if you click on this grade option, for the grades for this particular assignment only downloaded in the form of Excel sheet. So this is how you can create the objective type of the question paper. This is how you can assign the objective type of the question paper, or this is how you can evaluate them. So that's it from my side. So over to you, Miss Prajakta Jagtap ma'am.
Thank you, Rajat sir. I am sharing my screen. Just a second. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And I hope I am audible too.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Good afternoon, one and all. Myself, Prajakta Jagtap, Assistant Professor, Alana College of Pharmacy, Pune. Today, I would like to share some information on gamification in education. So, gamification within the classroom is not about playing games in Google Classroom, but it is about finding a way to motivate students to accomplish learning outcomes. Here are the benefits of gamification in e-learning. Learners experiences the fun during the game and the level of engagement is high. A good gamification strategy with high level of engagement will lead to increase in recall and retention. And it catalyzes positive behavioral change amongst students that lead to the significant performance gain. So gamification is very challenging and creative task for us teachers. You need to create games as per your learning outcomes that can be based on your subject standards. So these are the games that you can set for your students. So crossword puzzle, word search, feedback you can take, flashcards, and activity-based learning. Now I would like to show you all my Google Classroom for the subject cosmetic science. Different games and activities have been conducted for my students. So here I would like to show you crossword puzzle and the word search game. So this is the crossword puzzle sheet that I have made and the word search game. So I have created this word search game on makeup articles and hidden words are displayed here. You can also hide these hidden words if you want. So students have been assigned this game on the Google Classroom through the classwork, and while sharing this PDF, I have turned on edit option so that student can search and mark the word on the same sheet, and solve assignment will look like this. So student can able to solve on the same sheet. Okay. Now I will show you how to create such a games, and for that you need to open website www.theteacherscorner.net. At the left side corner, you can find this printable worksheet. So click on the word crossword maker. So this is the worksheet. Here you need to add title. For example, I am adding it as a cosmetics. Then give instructions to your students. Say for example, complete the crossword puzzle below. Then you need to insert the questions and the answers, the clues. I already inserted some data. One more I will insert. So say for example, what is the important ingredient in talcum powder? And the answer is talc. So this is how you need to insert your data. And after that, you just click on this tab that is across and down and horizontal and vertical, how you want. And after that, click on the tab, make crossword puzzle. So here from left side corner, you can format this generated puzzle by clicking on the advanced options. So here you can use different colors and you can make the sheet more attractive. After that, here is option that is save as. So it provides two options, create image or create PDF. So both are good for sharing, but I will suggest PDF because if you want to require it to save for the later time, or if you require to print it, email it, PDF will be easy. So here is the link to download the PDF of this generated crossword puzzle. So this is how your crossword puzzle PDF file is generated, that you need to share it on the Google Classroom. Now let's see how you can generate the word search game. Again, on the home page of this teacher's corner, left hand side corner, printable worksheet, there is one more option, that is word search maker. So click on that. Here you need to add title. Say for example, I am adding it cardiovascular system. Then you instruct the student, say for example, try to search words, all the words like this, or you just give them the clue, search all 13 words, etc. And then after this, you just add the words, that is heart, then vein, then artery, oxygen, blood, etc. So enter the words to hide over here. Then you can select the rows and columns. So up to 50 you can select. Grid style. So there are different grid styles available. So car shape, diamond shape. Here I am selecting square one. You can also select the word placement, that is how the hidden word will be appeared. So whether it is forward, backward directions, or only backward or only forward, like that. Similar with the diagonal words and up and down words. And here, place word list at the bottom. So you can also hide this. So hide word list. If you click on this, the answers will not be displayed to the students. Okay, so here are few sheets which I have already generated. Okay, such a sheets you can create and share with your student on Google Classroom. So you can also create different games by using this printable worksheet here. So you can also make the word scrambler maker, brain teaser, maze maker, and many more. You can create the games as per your learning objectives. One of the benefit of gamification is you can take feedback. So you can take feedback using many sites or Google Forms. So collecting feedback with Mentimeter is simple and extremely effective. So you can collect the feedback live while presenting, that is real-time responses, or you can collect it after the presentation session has been over. So participants can give feedback anonymously, which enables them to give authentic responses without fear of retribution. So feedback provides a valuable opportunity to improve performance, efficiency, and productivity. I took feedback using the website menti.com. So I asked the question, what is the most interesting thing you learned in the cosmetic science subject? student need to enter their answer in words, and simultaneously I have shared the link of live feedback so that the student can also view their responses immediately. Here the responses are displayed in the word cloud form. I have conducted webinar for the students, and after that students have been asked to give feedback. Here are the responses that are displayed on the scale form. Next activity I would like to show you all is flashcards. So it is a new and creative way to share content with your students. So flashcard, it is a card bearing information on both sides, which is intended to be used as an aid in memorization. So flashcards are effective as they engages the learner actively and improves recallability and allows the confidence-based repetition. So I took the revision through flashcards. Students have been asked to revise this particular topic, for example, lipstick, and these are the flashcards I have prepared. Say, for example, I have asked them the question that is in short, lip balm. And if you click on this, if you flip this card, immediately you will get the answer. The another card is, what do you mean by lipstick? If you flip this card by clicking it here, you will immediately get the answer. So for preparing such a cards, these flashcards, I used Quizlet.com website. So here you need to log in with your Google account so as to create the flashcards. So click on this option, create. And here you can enter the title, description, and all the data here. So you need to add the different terms and their definitions. By using this add voice, you can add your voice, you can record your voice and give it to your flashcards. And after that, you need to click on the create, and then such a flashcards are generated. And this link you can share with your student on Google Classroom. Now, after this, I would like to show you project work, that is activity-based learning. It is the process of learning by doing. So activity-based learning encourages the students to actively participate in their own learning experience through practical activities such as problem solving, independent investigation, and due to COVID-19 pandemic, everyone stuck at home. So lockdown could also mean adopting a new routine. Students have been instructed to prepare a cosmetic formulation from the ingredients available at home and prepare e-poster. This activity have been assigned in a group of 4 students. Here, so as to promote creativity and thinking ability of students, I have given them clues and set of the rubrics for this particular activity. So activity is evaluated under these 5 criteria. So title of the project, idea of formulation with content, use of ingredient, clarity, and overall impact. So I have given them the clues in the form of label. Say, for example, title of the project. If student did not give any title, then there will not be any point. But if they give title, they will score some points. And if the title is attractive, they will score highest point. Idea of formulation with content. So if it is regular idea, student will not gain any points. Here, if the idea is moderate, they will score 5 points, and innovative idea will gain 10 points. Use of ingredients. So if they use 2 ingredients, then there will not be any point. If they want to gain more points, they need to incorporate more ingredients into the formulations. Then regarding clarity, formulation is prepared, but it is not explained clearly, then student will not score any point. Formulation is covered well, but it is not presented well. So student will gain 5 points, and formulation is presented well with the clarity will gain highest points. Here, overall impact is the next criteria for evaluation. While preparing e-poster, if student considered only the color combination, then they will not score any points. But if they able to choose the correct font and the size, then they will score more points. And if they add relevant images, then student will score more highest points. Students have enthusiastically participated in this activity. Here, I would like to show you some posters that students have prepared. So students have prepared such a poster. Color combination is also good along with the title. So they tried their well. Even students have tried to give the innovative title along with the tagline, as well as they incorporated the relevant images, the actual formulation, as well as the effect of this cosmetic formulation they have explained with the diagrams. So we can say that the outcome of the gamification is maximum enjoyment and engagement of the learners. It can be used to motivate the learners. It develops skills and thinking ability amongst learners. And gamification is useful to achieve the learning objective with improved level of understanding. Thank you. Happy learning. Stay home. Stay safe. You are requested to email us your queries on prin-acfarm@azamcampus.org. I again repeat, email ID prin-acfarm@azamcampus.org. It will be our pleasure to reply you back. So if you have any queries, you can email us. Over to Dr. Kiran Bhise ma'am for vote of thanks.
Thank you so much, Prajakta madam. My screen is visible to all of you.
No, ma'am.
Not yet, ma'am.
Screen is not visible. Hello.
Not yet, ma'am.
Okay. Some network connectivity is there. So, dear friends, I think that today's session was useful to all of you, and we tried our best to convey from our end the concept of Google Classroom, e-teaching, task activities, online assignments, gamification, etc. During this COVID period, we all tried our best to give maximum to our students through such activities. Of course, in this era of smartphone and newer technology, you all will definitely agree that the teaching is only one such profession which is, which was, and which will always be over and above the technology. The online teaching learning process has no doubt brought a lot of relief to all the teaching fraternity during this pandemic period. But you all will agree that technology by no means can be a replacement for the teachers. But yes, it can be used effectively to enhance the learning process during such challenging period. The future will be more demanding for the teachers as they will have to take more responsibilities, like knowing the recent learning trends, tools and technologies, new teaching methodologies, etc. Any regular classroom course in future will surely will have the human personal touch of the teacher combined with the recent technological aid. And with this, we would like to conclude today's session with a humble gesture of proposing the vote of thanks. We hope for today's session was useful and informative to all of you. We are thankful to the delegates from different states from all over India for their active participation and presence during this session. The encouragement and the guidance extended by the office bearers of MC Society, in particular by Dr. P. A. Namdar sir, our Honorable President, and Professor Irfan Sheikh sir, Joint Secretary, MC Society. They permitted us to share our Google Classroom data with all of you as a gesture of corporate social responsibility, and it has really motivated our team to take a leap further. We are also thankful to Dr. Rishi Acharya, Dean Pai Veda, for extending his technical help to us. I have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very motivated and dedicated faculty members. We appreciate the active involvement and immense support of Dr. Rani Potawle, Ms. Prajakta Jagtap, Mr. Rajat Sayyed, and Mr. Swapnil Donde in this demo session. So thanks once again, thanks a lot. Please feel free to contact us on our college email ID mentioned in the chat box, as well as Ms. Prajakta Jagtap has just now dictated it. We will be happy to extend our one-to-one guidance to the teaching fraternity whenever you will require it. So let's call it a day. Jai Hind.